Welcome to the Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast, the podcast where we make 5-minute decisions that can change your business, your relationships, and your life. Hey, this is Dean Soto, founder of ProSulum.com and FreedomIn5Minutes.com, and you are here for another Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast. Today's topic is this: everything is going wrong, and it's fun as heck. That and more coming up. Okay, woo! It has been a wild couple of days, and there is some crazy stories that are happening that I'm going to share with you. But one of the things that we all have to deal with are the unexpected, and a lot of the times that will totally make us feel as though we are, everything's falling to pot and everything's going crazy. But it's all in the decisions that you make. All right. So that being said, over the last 2 days, it was Saturday. So today's Monday. It was Monday morning. It's about right now. It's about 6 o'clock. I woke up around 5, and we are getting ready for the day. So Saturday, we have a pretty consistent schedule now, which I might talk about later. Well, we did actually talk about it in one of our videos. If you go to our YouTube channel, if you go to YouTube and you type in FreedomIn5Minutes.com, or Freedom in 5 Minutes, you will go and you will be able to see the latest from Marissa and I, or from Marissa and me. Sorry, bad grammar. You'll see the latest from Marissa and me, and it will show the how we've built our schedule with our kids. And we have 7 kids, and if you think that's crazy, it gets crazier when things like Saturday happen. So, what happened on Saturday? Well, I'm so glad you asked, because it is crazy. So we have a pretty consistent schedule, and one of the things that we try to do every morning, it doesn't always happen, but one of the things that we try to do every morning is plan out the day. More often than not, it happens just because of how we structure our day. But the thing was, one of the things that we had planned that I really wanted to do was go out to eat at one of my favorite Mexican restaurants over here by where we live as a family. Well, we were on our way. So we planned to do it around 5:30. I was just finishing up some things out on our land. And we loaded up the van, the big bus, the big E350 van that we have. Loaded up the van, backed out, and started going down our dirt road, which is we're about a mile up the hill from the main highway over here. And so we started going down our dirt road, and I want to say about halfway down, our van literally completely shut off as I was driving. The air conditioner was going on, and the kids, we have a DVD player in the van, and the DVD player shut off and the air shut off. I actually thought it was just the air conditioner at the time, because we had been having problems with the air conditioner in general. So I thought it was just the air conditioner, and so I didn't really think anything of it. So I'm switching the air conditioner controls, turning them off and on, going, what the heck is going on? And I didn't realize it because our road is a little bit bumpy, and it's not as though you're driving and all of a sudden you just feel smoothness or whatever, things starting to slow down. We're still going downhill, so we're still moving a little bit. and the road's bumpy, so it feels like the engine's still on, but literally the engine totally shut off, 100%. I started feeling, you know how when the engine goes out, or when you turn off when basically like when everything kind of goes out. I don't know if you've felt this before, but you can feel the power steering start to get out, it becomes harder to steer, and you feel the brake become like a sponge, really, really, really hard, and you can't really brake anymore, and all this other stuff. It was crazy. So luckily I was able to kind of pull off to the side a little bit on our dirt road, but it's a small dirt road, and if a big truck were to try to go by, something bigger than an F-350 or something, which doesn't usually happen, but if something did come up, it would have been pretty rough. It would have sucked. So there we are, halfway down our dirt road, and I'm like, crap. This freaking sucks. This is really just pissing me off. I'm so mad at this damn freaking van, because this van has been the bane of my existence for the last year. I had the air conditioner go out, which I'm guessing has something to do. It's probably a very similar, something to do that is, what I think it is I think it's probably got some rodents in there, since we're in the country. That's what happens when you're in the country. That sucks, which means I need to clear out my garage and start putting the cars in the garage, which does not stop rodents from going into your car. Anyway, I digress. So we're sitting there unloading all the kids out of the van, and at that point in time, I have the choice. I have the choice to be pissed off and to complain about everything that I have, and to see this as just another frustrating thing with this stupid freaking van that I hate, which I don't hate it. It's done us right, but at that time I'm like, I have the choice to do that, or I have the choice to have fun with it and learn and see that something is happening. God's trying to show me something, show our family something, and see what the heck that something is, you know? That being said, the choice was made right then and there. The decision was made right then and there. I'm going to have fun with this. I'm going to learn. I know something's going to come from it. Not a big deal. It ruins our plans and our expectations, but who cares, right? Well, once that decision was made, everything became so much more fun and interesting. Because we have a good amount of people going by, I got to meet a lot of my neighbors that I normally don't meet. Like, literally where I'm at right now, I cannot see any of my neighbors. I'm out, sunrise is just about to happen. I'm looking around. I can see far away, probably about 3/4 of a mile, I can see the lights of one of my neighbors. But generally, I cannot see a single neighbor around me right now that I know of. That neighbor that's down there, I don't even know who they are either. So you don't get to meet too many people where I'm at unless situations like this happen. So as people are driving, I get to meet some of my neighbors. I got to meet a neighbor, I got to meet the son of a neighbor who I talk to all the time. And I had never met his son before, a guy named Dustin. And for me, that was something that was, I was thinking, whoa, we've been here for a year and a half. I've known your dad for that amount of time because he comes and flattens out the roadways over here. And I've never met you. That's sad. a year and a half, and I never met you until now, until this happens, and we're chatting and talking and everything like that. I met another neighbor who brought me and my entire family up in the bed of his truck back to our house with this, and found out that he was a truck driver who had a pretty he lives by himself, but he has an amazing story of his family, and I'll share that maybe in a different podcast. But we actually got to talking because of this situation, and now I know this guy, and every time he drives by, we're going to be able to chat. We've already chatted twice since this thing has happened. Met a couple of other neighbors that went by, and so that was just one incident. That were one thing. The next was the tow truck drivers. I got to try out every single one of I got to try out Geico's roadside assistance. They were not able to help me at the time because it was. This happened around 5:30 in the afternoon, or in the evening, and. By the time they found someone who would likely come over here, they said, "Oh no, we're not going to be able to do it because we don't have a big enough truck." So then they said, "Well, we will reimburse you." And so then from there I called AAA. They looked like they were going to get somebody, but then that person said, "No, it's a dirt road, so we can't come and do it." I'm like, "Oh crap!" So then I called commercially. I ended up calling somebody on my own, a tow truck company on my own, who is around here, who I thought was actually farther, but they're right down the street, and met them. They came. One of the problems with my van is you couldn't put it in neutral, but they came, drug my van up onto the bed of a truck that could not, barely could move my van because it was so heavy, and then brought it down to at least a place where people everybody would be able to get by. And essentially this whole debacle ended around 11 o'clock in the evening, when basically there was no way I can get anybody to come out to take it to the shop. This yesterday morning, got it finally to a shop by meeting a brand new truck driver or tow truck driver over here in a completely different company, finding out more about them and more about him. And this whole time, my wife and I are just saying, "Whoa, we learned this. I learned this. God's obviously teaching us something." It was just a beautiful experience because there were so many learning opportunities and so many things that came our way, and so many new people that came our way, that had we been grumpy about it, had I said, I'm good, had I decided to be pissed for the next 2 days, those opportunities and those fun moments and the moments to connect with other people would have never happened. But it came from that one decision. So we have this happen every day. It might not be on the grand scale of your car completely shutting down by rodents eating the wiring and all other stuff. I hope that's not it. I don't know if that's it or not, but it probably is, knowing where we're at. But anyway, we have this happen every day. There are frustrations that happen every day. Maybe it's your boss. Maybe it's your employees. Maybe it is a customer who totally talks trash on you. Maybe it could be anything, but it happens every day. Maybe it's your wife. Maybe it's your kids, bringing some kind of frustration. If you recognize that, guess what? It's going to happen every day. It's going to happen every week. It's going to happen every month. It's going to happen every year for the rest of your life. By simply making the decision to have fun with it, to learn from it, to see what is the lesson to learn from it, it changes the entire dynamic. It changes the entire dynamic into something that can be fun, something that can grow who you are, into something that you look back and laugh. And now you have a story that you can share with your children, you can share with your friends, you can share with your spouse, you can share for years and years and years. That story, the story of my van completely shutting down, is going to be in my family for years. My kids are going to remember that. My wife is going to remember that, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to go share it with our extended family. And we're going to look back and we're going to laugh, and it's going to be wonderful. So what do you have going on in your life right now that you originally chose to be frustrated about? What do you have in your life right now that you originally chose to be frustrated about, and it has caused you nothing but pain? I want you to take a good hard look at it. And if you're courageous enough and if you feel like you could, I want you to change your perspective on it. And I want you to make the decision right now to have fun with it, to see it as a learning opportunity, to see it as an opportunity to meet new people, to see it as an opportunity to grow in a way that you haven't grown before, whether it's in communication or maybe finding a way to detach yourself, maybe through meditation or something of that sort from the problem itself. One thing right now that is frustrating the crap out of you, and make the decision right now, the quick 5-minute or less decision, to see it a different way. And see how that one little thing, that one little change will actually give you a gift of a story. It'll give you the gift of a story, even if the story is that one time. Let me tell you about that one time where I was so frustrated about XYZ, but I decided to look at it a little bit differently. And the cool thing that happened was ABC. You now have the gift of a very positive and uplifting story that you can tell anybody that you care about, or keep it to yourself and enjoy it. And enjoy the memories of it. All right, this is Dean Soto, freedomin5minutes.com. Go check that out. freedomin5minutes.com. You can go and get some secret episodes there, as well as be a part of the community and get daily emails, quick emails that will uplift you and will, give you some tips outside of this podcast that you might not get on this podcast. All right, so freedomin5minutes.com, and we will see you in the next Freedom in 5 Minutes podcast.